Welcome to the Midlife Leap, a lifestyle talk show for women in midlife. I'm your host, Sunita Johnson, and I am excited to share tips and interviews on topics ranging from business, career, current news, fashion, shopping, health, travel, and so much more. And because I'm known as the Midlife Leap Coach, from time to time, I'll share some of my signature Midlife Leap coaching tips. So come on, ladies, let's reignite and reimagine our Midlife Leap journey together. If you are dealing with depression and you first notice your mood shift occurred during midlife, well, you're not alone. According to research from the National Institutes of Health, depression is quite common amongst midlifers between the ages of 40 to 50. Now, midlife women specifically are already dealing with midlife transitions such as hormonal changes, empty nest syndrome, and becoming caregivers for their parents. So why does depression strike in midlife? Now, three other possible causes are, number one, chronic pain disorders. Now, as physical pain intensifies, often depression becomes much more severe. Number two, menopause or perimenopause symptoms such as hot flashes and mood changes and insomnia will put many women in miserable moods. Number three, vitamin D deficiency can lead to fatigue and depression also. Now, as we age, we get less vitamin B12 from our foods due to diminished stomach acid production. Now, fortunately, there are supplements available on the market. Now, if you are suffering from depression, please do not try self-treatment or only take your friends and family advice. Get checked out by your doctor so that you will have a clear understanding of what's going on with your body and your mind. You want a well-educated and well-rounded healing plan so that you can start feeling great again. Now, if you want to read more of the possible reasons of why depression strikes, the article is titled Reason Why Depression Strikes in Midlife, and you can read it in activebeat.com. I have included the link to the article on my channel. Sonya Jenkins is an author, actress, and entertainment journalist. In 2014, she self-published her first novel titled Shayla's Catch. And then Sonya added filmmaker to her resume when she made her novel into a film and followed that up with a prequel series on Amazon Prime. Yes, you heard me. She got her self-published book turned into an independent film project, turned into a prequel series on Amazon Prime. That's no joke. Sonya was a stand-in. She became inspired when to become a filmmaker when she was a stand-in and marcher in the Academy Award nominated film Selma, where award-winning director Ava DuVernay gave her an opportunity to direct a small scene of actors marching while singing an old-time hymnal. Now, this directing experience gave Sonya an adrenaline rush, and that made her realize that wearing the director's hat was yet another dream. Now, Sonya is a true testament of that you can do awesome things from where you are right now. No excuses. And since then, she's also authored, maybe not since then, I don't know if the other books came before or not. I don't want to screw up the information, but she wrote other books titled Motivation, The Path to Interposer, Fiery Charm, and Smiley, the Flight Attendant. Got a feeling there's some more film projects coming. Thank you for joining us, Sonya.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
So my biggest question, of course, when I watched your film on your prequel on Shayla's Catch, I was like, how in the world did she do this? Because you're an everyday person, everyday, independent filmmaker. And I always thought something like that was something that only huge production, multi-million-dollar production companies can do. So inspire my people.
Whether you're a multi-millionaire with tons of money or whether you're an independent filmmaker like myself with a low budget or a no budget, which is how I actually started. Well, first of all, this film project has been in the making for over 20 years. In all honesty, I visualized it. And I always think that when you visualize something and you just use that visualization, that you are starting to create, because that is the first step. But in 2004, before I even had my book, Shayla's Catch, published, I actually entered the Jamaican Film Festival. And it was something that Cheryl Lee Ralph put together, and that it went for a long time. And I actually pitched Shayla's Catch as a movie before the book was published. And I got some really good feedback. I mean, some great feedback. The director of Why Do Fools Fall in Love, actually the writer of Why Do Fools Fall in Love, was at that pitch session, and she absolutely loved it. So sometimes it just takes one person to motivate you to keep going. And I was motivated and I kept going. In 2014, Shayla's Catch, the novel, was published as an ebook. And then in 2015, it came out in paperback. In 2018, I began filming Shayla's Catch. It was on Amazon Prime in 2019. How did I do it? I begged. Can I borrow some money? Can I use your location? Can you please come to my table read? I mean, it's just a part of filmmaking that you have to get your project out there, but you're going to have to take definitive steps to ask other people to help you. And I was blessed to get the help that I need.
And you're also, most people, people should know, you're not in Hollywood. You're in Atlanta. Not saying that there isn't, Hollywood work there, but still you're outside of the Mecca.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, they call it ATL Wood, and I'll have to give a little credit to a friend of mine who has a t-shirt company, Scotty Scott, called ATL Wood. But Atlanta is the new Hollywood. It is the Hollywood of the South. But I did my first table read for Shayla's Catch in October of 2018 in Los Angeles. Actually, it's in North Hollywood. And I had some friends who had moved from Atlanta to Hollywood, to LA, to pursue their careers in acting, filmmaking. And I called those people that I knew who were already in the business, who were in LA at the time, as well as a few people who had not moved. They were already planted in Los Angeles. So actually a lot of my film, the Shayla's Catch, the first one, it's a Shayla's Catch original, which is a 53-minute film on Amazon Prime, and a Shayla's Catch prequel, which I did over the last year and a half, that is also on Amazon Prime as a series. But the people in LA, I did some filming out there on layovers, because at the time I was a flight attendant. Right. So I said, okay, you know what? Let me schedule this. I went out for my nephew's football game, and I got some people together, some friends together, and we did a table read, and it started from there. Okay. So that's how it started.
And, I will say that it is the sign of the times right now. Rather than waiting for your phone to ring, create your own content, and don't be scared to do it.
Yes. Now, listen, I did go to a lot of directors, producers. I was putting my book in the hands of people like Oprah Winfrey, Lee Daniels, Lamont Rucker. I mean, they all have my book, Shayla's Catch. So, I mean, I have people, and I bugged everybody. Sometimes I would be on set doing background work, and people be like, okay, who's she going to talk to today? And trust me, I follow the protocol. I did not ever go outside of protocol. But if there was an opportunity, oh, by the way, here you go. Here's my book, blessing you with something that I've done. And I always figured it to be a blessing. So now being in Hollywood is one thing, but I never felt that I needed to be in Hollywood to accomplish my dreams. Everything that you're able to do is where you are. And even if you're a filmmaker and you need to write something or you need to direct something, there's nothing that is going to stop you from doing what you have to do wherever you are.
And you mentioned the first step, you said, is to visualize it, write it down. Yes. And then what are some other steps or tips if you ever put together a workshop? Because I can imagine. Go on.
So there are a lot of steps, and sometimes the steps you overlap in so many things. But I would say to get help, because you do have to have actors. You have to have. Now, I wrote Shayla's Catch and Shayla's Catch prequel, but I also had to have an editor. I had to have willing people. So the next step, visualization, then finding the people who can help you and people who can act. And just, you may want to do a scene or say, I'm going to do this scene. I did a scene of Shayla's Catch back even in 2005, I think it was, when Robert Townsend was doing a workshop in Atlanta. And I heard that he was looking for new talent for a television station that he was creating. So basically, I grabbed some of the talented people that I know, and I said, we're going to do this workshop, but we're going to present a skit on Shayla's Catch. So basically, you have to get it in action. Once you visualize, you have to get it into action. As far as Amazon Prime specifically, I did research. So I had to follow the protocol. I did get rejected, and it did actually hurt my feelings. So, but after your feelings are hurt, you have to go back and say, what did I do wrong? It's just like in anything else. If you keep getting a no, you want to get a yes. So eventually we got it right. And we got the green light. We were green lit, as they call it in Hollywood. And it just became a process and I'm still learning the process, because I don't have backers like, a Tyler Perry. Well, Tyler Perry, he's his own back. But but Tyler did start doing plays. So it was 30 people, I think he said, at his first play. So, or 15 maybe. But the bottom line is that once you get into the process, it's no, like, I'm just going to do this. If you are the director, the producer, the writer, or I don't want to have all those duties, but who else? I'm not going to have to, if I can do those things right now, then I'm going to do them. Yeah. And if there are people who can help me, then I'm like, okay, you can be the editor, you can be the co-producer, you can be the associate producer, you assign, you delegate. But for right now, I am all of those things because it's my vision.
Yeah, I think it makes you appreciate when you start hiring people, what they do and what the value of what you're paying them, because now you know how great the job is that they're providing you and how hard it is.
Yeah.
So another comment you made, because like Tyler Perry started out independent with plays and he had to grow from there. There's been a lot of people who started independently, and no, initially their project was not this amazing project because they didn't have all the dollars behind it. But it takes one person or several people to see a vision in what they're doing and then decide, oh, I like what Sonya Jenkins is doing. I can see her vision. So let's start putting some money behind her next project. It's like you're working on another project now. And I love that, because you're not giving up. You're moving on to the next.
Yes. Well, you have to keep it moving. I mean, that's the bottom line. I don't do this for the destination. Let me just tell that. I do it for the journey. If I did anything in my life, now there are some things I do for the result, for the destination, but the journey is very important. I have to have fun in the journey of filmmaking. It is ongoing. It is not, I've made a film and now let me, just do a cartwheel or anything like that. It feels good once you complete a project, but if you don't enjoy the process, then more than likely you're not going to get to the destiny. If you're on an airplane, of course you want to get to the destination. Let's just say you're going to Hawaii, but you have to sometimes, that's a long flight from Atlanta. It's 11 hours. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to fly to Hawaii, but if I am flying to Hawaii, and I have to say, okay, I'm going to watch a movie while I'm flying to Hawaii. I'm going to read a book. On that journey, I put something into the journey and I enjoyed the journey. And now I can enjoy the destination even more.
Love it. And then you also mentioned that you got on Amazon Prime from research. And I in my coaching course that I'm working on, journey is a vital aspect of it, but also for the action section is research. And it's so much easier now because of the internet compared to years ago.
Yes, it is. But I had also been, and I am a self-published author through Amazon. When I first became a self-published author, it was through Create Space to have a printed book. But now it's Kindle Direct Publishing. And even if there are writers out there who want to publish a book, Kindle Direct Publishing, there is so much information. It could take days to read, but if you start, that's the main thing. So from transitioning from being an independent author, self-published author, to becoming an independent filmmaker wasn't really that hard because of the fact that Amazon is Amazon. So if you go from Amazon, the book publishing, then Amazon Prime, the TV and movie network, basically, then it's not that hard. But at the same time, you have to follow protocol. And sometimes you might get rejected. Some people don't get to from A to B because they get a red light, and then it's like, okay, well, maybe they don't like my stuff, or maybe I don't have what it takes. No, you get past that and you get the green lit.
And you listened to the suggestions and you made improvement. I mean, it's been 20 years you've been listening to suggestions.
Well, I only tried Amazon Prime though in 2019. Okay. So like maybe 2019. And it took a few months to get on there only because I mean, there were some things and I can't even remember the specifics because it's just like anything else. You don't even remember the hard times a lot of times when you get to the happiness and the joy. I do remember in the sense that you don't do this. You don't put your title all in caps. I think I sent my title all in caps. That was one of the things. Shayla's Catch. Okay, don't you see this? Capital S. No. Then they won't tell you specifically, but it's like title problem. So title, what? They don't like my title? Right. There some protocol. You have to follow protocol. That's the only thing I can say. And if you have, things like captions, I try to do the captions myself. They require captions. You have to have captions for every project on Amazon Prime. I was so frustrated. They were like, no. Finally, someone told me, one of my actors, as a matter of fact, Nadine Bone, she told me, there's a service that does captions. You could pay them.
Wow.
I'm paying y'all to do my captions every single time. And from that point on, I never tried to do a caption because there's a company that does captions. It's taking away my time if I'm sitting here trying to do captions and then get it wrong.
At your nose.
Yeah. That's a lot. It's a lot, but at the same time, it's, how can something be a lot, but not that hard? But it is just a protocol that you follow.
Yeah. And correction on my part, I mentioned 20 years. I meant 20 years from when you first pitched the idea. Shayla's Catch in general. So, okay. So please tell people, how can they find your prequel to watch, Shayla's Catch, and then you have another project that you're working on.
Yes. Okay. So Shayla's Catch, I would say watch Shayla's Catch prequel first because it's the backstory of Shayla's Catch. It is a series on Amazon Prime TV. Just go to Google. This is the best way and put in Shayla's Catch prequel, Amazon Prime. It will pop up. For Shayla's Catch after that, because there are 10 episodes of the prequel, then go to Amazon, or you'll be on Amazon, just say Shayla's Catch. It is under the movie category. It's 53-minute short film, basically medium film, because most short films are even shorter than that. So that's very easy to find. The next project, I am working on another project. However, it is from a book that I wrote and started writing, and I had a rough draft and I decided, hey, get it out there. And I'm going to start casting for it very soon, but it's called Fiery Charm. But I don't know if it will be that by the time I finish filming because something within me saying to change the name. So it's just one of the things, you just change some things as you go along if you feel that it is needed. So that's what's going on. As far as anything else, I have a website, sonyaspotlight.com, Sonya with a Y and 2 S's in the middle, sonyaspotlight.com. And if you'll see many of my projects is usually at the top, what I have going on, whether it's a new book. I have Smiley the Flight Attendant. It's the children's book that I'm so proud of, because little kids, I mean, they love animated, anything animated. And sometimes I can be a little animated. Imagine that.
You have to be to get through all those no's that you've gone through and
Oh my goodness.
done.
I can be a little animated. So I just love the fact that the kids gravitate towards my book, Smiley the Flight Attendant, which is about a flight to Orlando.
Oh,
Yes.
maybe you'll be doing an animated film next. But thank you, Sonya, for joining us. This is very informative. And if you decide to put together a workshop for all those women out there who have a book, want to get on Amazon Prime as well, come back and let us know.
I am so, you know what? I'm one of the I have to get you. That is Sunita, you all. I'm so proud of you, Sunita. You have just always put your all into whatever you're doing. You're such a motivator. I appreciate you for having me on. I really do. And she's a cutie too, and she, this is going on.
Thank you. Trying to make my dreams a reality. I had to move and let everything go. So I'm restarting here in the DC area.
Okay, that is great. I'm really proud of you.
Doing it.
Yeah, I am really proud of you.
Thank you.
You know what you're doing.
I will.